Boom. Keep them coming.
What's going on, everyone? Bobbybarks here, and welcome to the draw for Quarter 3's 1v1 tournament. Later today, we'll be doing the 3v3 draw as well. But for this morning, we're just doing the 1v1. The player pool is limited to 64 players for Quarter 3. Oh, hi, Rockin' Zombie. You alright? Good morning to you, good sir. So yes, the player pool is limited to 64 players for Quarter 3, which is in conjunction with Quarter 1. We roughly had, I think it was slightly more, but roughly 64 players. So Quarter 3, again, limited to 64 players. Quarter 4, I will open up to everybody again. So everybody that registers will play in Quarter 4. And we'll try and work around it if there's an odd number, or if it's not gonna whittle its way down to the final of 1 versus 1. So we'll mess around with it based on who submits an application to playing it. So for this quarter, though, like I say, limited to 64 players. We're using the Bracketcloud again, so unfortunately the jug is not making a comeback. It just makes my life easier having this Bracketcloud. The players that you can see playing each other there at the minute on the screen is not actually the draw. That was a dummy draw, just to make sure that everything was working all right. And again, here I will show you another dummy draw. So I just click the shuffle button and it shuffles everybody round. So the next time I do that will be the actual draw. For those of you that are interested in the 3v3, it's limited to 16 teams. We didn't have that many people register interest in it, which I was surprised about, but it makes my life a lot easier. The less teams that are in there, the easier it is for me to make sure it goes ahead. Quarter 2 is still running. We're quite far behind with that. There's been a delay in people playing the games, a delay in people editing it. I've struggled for time. I'm very, very busy at work. Can I make it bigger in size? Can you not see that, Rog? I can do that for you. Is that any better? Let's just mess around with this here. There. And then I'll scroll down obviously as it goes further down, Rog, but I think that should be alright for you, shouldn't it? Can see that fairly well. Let me know. Let me know in the comment section. So where was I? Yeah, 3v3. I've been very, very busy at work. I changed my job in February, and it's had quite a massive impact on my social time and my availability, as well as being involved in my family. I have quite a big family, so. I've struggled for time to edit things. People who have been helping me out have been fantastic. I've had a high number of helpers for Quarter 2, which has really, really helped move the tournament along. Otherwise, we'd probably still be stuck in round 1 or 2. So a big shout out to those people. You all know who you are. I usually list them in the video descriptions as well if they've helped out. So that's kind of where we're at with things. 3v3, I think we've got about 20 teams register, so I've limited it to the 16. The first 16 that registered are the 16 that are going to play. There is people in there that I don't know, so I'm kind of hoping that they do submit the footage, because if they don't, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. For the 3v3 on this occasion, we have said that we're only going to take one POV from that team. I'm not going to try and edit all 6 players' point of view, otherwise it'll just be completely difficult, particularly if one person can't submit footage. So what we've said with the 3v3, when you've registered it, if you're watching this and you have registered, I've asked you to register 4 people. I know some of you have registered yourself as the team captain and then teammate 1. If you've done that, Saman will get in touch with you and tell you that you need to pick a 4th player to come into that player pool, and that just means that out of those 4, any 3 of you can play at any one time. Because if I just put it down as 3 players, there's always somebody, and we found this with a 2v2, so it'd be even worse with a 3v3. We found that there's always somebody that cannot get there for that particular time that everyone else can get. So we've made it 4 players, so it should give you a bit more flexibility around getting players there to play the game. So 3v3, we're only taking the team captain's point of view. If the team captain cannot send his point of view, then I would appreciate at least another teammate sending it. So by all means, I'll record it, and then team captain sends it. If he can't send it, if he's failed to record it or something's gone wrong, run out of hard drive space is another one that I've had recently. You know, somebody else from that team can send it in. So you'll just get one point of view from each team. So it'll be very much in keeping with the 1v1. It'll be very similar to that, but obviously that one person's going to have a couple of teammates running around with him. The map for the 3v3 is the Dam. I know a lot of people were a bit sceptical about Bookstore for 2v2, but I think the Dam in its entirety has been quite a popular choice for the 3v3. And then the 4v4, I haven't quite decided what we're going to do with that yet. I'm kind of thinking Water Tower. Let me know what you think about that. I think Water Tower is quite a decent map for 4v4. So let me know what you think. So yeah, so shall we crack on with the draw then? A lot of the players that are in this 1v1 have been players in previous 1v1s. Some people have come back with an alt account name, but it is the same kind of players. We did have quite a lot of people register interest, and there were about 150. But like I say, limited to 64. It was invitation only, so I didn't take the first 64. I took 64 players out of that 150 and decided who was going to be in it. And that judgment was based on people who had previously participated and caused me zero hassle. So people who submitted footage, played games on time, that kind of thing. People who I knew would understand the rules and play. So quarter 3 invitation only. Like I said at the start, quarter 4 will be open to everyone again, and I'll deal with all those issues that I dealt with in quarter 2 in quarter 4. But because it's the last one, quarter 4, I kind of wanted it to go out with a bang, so it will be open to everybody. So, shall we get on with the draw then? So a lot of players, as you know, like I said, are all here from before. Only person that's in here, I think, that wasn't in the 1v1 is Eve Braza and Eternal Kind. Are the only two players in there. Oh, and Bet Chris. Some of the players that haven't participated before. Keith VT as well, sorry, is there. So that's 4 players who haven't participated in previous tournaments, but they have been quite popular on my channel in the comments section. They've been around for a while, and I'm kind of hoping that they know the score with things and they'll adhere to the rules. So, let us do the actual draw then for round 1 of the 1v1. Here we go. Shuffle and boom. So we have Combat Wombat 060 versus Mad Circle 70. Black 004 Hawk versus Morley. Sklunker versus Ninja Vanish. Rock and Zombie. While you're here, you've got Believe That 18. That will be a tough game for you there. Capiani and Romance Jones are playing each other. Bear is up against Beaten by a Girl. Kieran W99 versus Who Knows 29. Robbins 1 versus Matt Potts. Keith VT is playing Bet Chris. Grundig 1987 versus Supreme 190. Meet Mr. Mayhem versus Star Charms. 2 people that are in my podcast Discord chat. That should be interesting between you two. Who else we got here? We've got Giant Roger against Daniel 12. That's going to be a tough game for you, Roger. Daniel, obviously a semi-finalist from quarter 1. Went out early doors in quarter 2 to Crazy Calcium. Sir Wanji against Sai the Sai. Tom Cruise, The Last Samurai against Gusty Phoenix. Crazy Calcium has Andy 67861127. I think that's the same guy as Space Kush. I'm pretty sure that's Space Kush. Zaradi 56 against Lord Saturni will be a good game too. Cal versus Quinton Cobb. Ben Shear 33 versus The Genius. Green Eyes 890 versus Shut Up Walter. Specklizer versus Raystar is probably going to be a really good game in round 1. Leaf Dog versus Barack Obama. John 500 versus Pure Nightmare. Arcane versus Tlu Gamer. Tactical Napper versus KD Barks. Tactical Napper is playing my daughter. Sancho West versus Mystic Flamenco. Mystic Flamenco is still in the 1v1. The Shiv Prince versus Eternal Kind. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Shiv Prince, because he did lose to Believe That 18, and we did kind of say that he was going to get disqualified anyway based on the harassment that he'd given other players. But a couple of people have been in touch with me, Vince M25 and Thumb Power, both been in touch with me to talk about the Shiv Prince, and I have him blocked on everything because he's been a fucking nightmare towards me, to be honest. And I was very, very reluctant to let him back in. But Vince and Thumb Power have been in touch with him and talked to him about things, and he has promised to behave himself and be a very different character this time round. So we've given him one last chance because he has been there in Quarter 1 and Quarter 2. He does submit his footage even when he rage quits games or harass people, and he's always played these games. The only hassle he's caused me is around his attitude. So if he's willing to keep his attitude at bay, then I'm willing to give him another chance. We'll see how that goes. So he's up against Eternal Kind. Saman22 versus Lone Wolf 3204. Saman will be kicking himself over that. Rolando 418 versus Jasminava. Demetris Killer versus Eve Braza. Now, there's a couple of people in here that are still in, like Mystic Flamenco, Demetris Killer. They're still in the 1v1 Quarter 2. So if they end up winning it, they're obviously not able to take part in Quarter 3. So what we will do is we won't have them play their games just yet until I know that they've either been eliminated or won Quarter 2. Whoever wins Quarter 2 cannot play in Quarter 3. So once I find out who's won it, I will be in touch if they've registered in Quarter 3 and tell them not to play those games. And we'll bring in a replacement for those. So we've got Who's Nick Doglio versus Lyle Lanley, Azaze I versus Clark Nicholas. I think Azaze is an alt account for Body Short Stroke Snipsy. And Big Waffles 123 versus Prince Kassab. I think Big Waffles 123 is Salty Waffle, because he did tell me that he'd registered. So that's kind of where we're at with things. Interesting draw. I haven't been looking at the comment section while I've been going through that, so I'll be interested to know what you guys think overall. But yeah, quite a good draw. What's going on, guys? We are back again. Second time today, and this will be the 3v3 draw for Quarter 3. As I say, we had about 20 people that registered interest, or 20 teams, should I say, that registered interest. So we've just whittled that down to the first 16 that applied, or didn't register twice, or something like that. I think there's probably about 24 entrants, but 4 of those were people that had registered twice or 3 times, or I don't know what it is with some people. They just can't grasp the simple things in life. So anyway, we have 16 teams. I'll just run through them. So we have Good Team, Hunters of Shiv Ali, The Order, The Wetchins, Familiar, Spanish Fungus, obviously in Quarter 2's 2v2 tournament as well, Rolling Garbage Truck on Fire, Dirty Stars, which is a team from the 2v2 as well, Demigod, Gun Skills Only, Elevate, Get Cold, The Winners, 420 Familiar, Wood IX3, and the Janitors, which is Valkyrie, Lord Satoni, Squirmel, and some other dude, are a 3v3 team there. As most of you know, the people registered 4 players, and any one of those 4 can participate at any time as a 3. Team captains are the only ones that will submit POV. However, if you all record it, and just make sure that 1 POV is submitted, then that will be enough. So it'll be very similar to the 1v1. The matches are taking place on the dam. The rules are exactly the same. No silenced weapons, no covert training 3. Everything else kind of goes. So arms allowed, purchasables allowed, throwables are allowed, shorties are allowed. Bomb Expert and the likes. Just covert training 2/3 and no silenced weapons. Make sure you are not streaming or give the results away beforehand. It's very important that the people who watch it on my channel are seeing the game for the first time and being surprised by the result. So, let's get into the draw. We'll just do a dummy draw first so you know what the score is. So this is a dummy draw, this is not the actual draw, and that is how it works. Very similar to the 1v1, we're using the same Bracketcloud, etc. Okie doke. So, we will do the draw right now. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Boom. There is your draw. So Rolling Garbage Truck on Fire are going to play against Spanish Fungus. Elevate will play against the winners. Demigods versus the Janitors. Wood IX3 versus the 420 Familiar. Good Team versus Dirty Stars. The Wet Chins versus the Hunters of Shiv Ali. Get Cold versus Familiar. And the Order versus Gun Skills Only. And you see all, you can't really see all that on that screen there, can you? I'll put a link to the Bracketcloud in the video description as well when I upload this to YouTube. I'll put it all together as one video so that you get the 1v1 draw and the 3v3 draw together, and then the links to the Bracketclouds in the video description and the comments section. Does all that make sense? Good, I hope so. I'm not going to repeat myself. I'm going to leave that with you. Interact with me in the comment section of the YouTube video once it's up if you have any questions about anything. One thing that I am debating, and I did run a Twitter poll on this and it come back 50-50 I think, was whether to ban the shorty from the 1v1. I don't want to, because if I ban the shorty you'll all just move on to something else that wants banning. Bomb Expert, Shotgun, something like that. But the shorty has been questioned quite a lot in this tournament. People are doing really well in the tournament, are using it to progress against really good players, and I guess that was kind of the one thing that I did like about the no rules scenario to start with, was that it gave people who had restrictive skill a chance to progress. But what I didn't anticipate for was people with skill using the shorty to progress, and I think that's the thing that's upset me the most, is when I see a good player using a shorty and I just think, well, you don't need to use a shorty. Why do you feel the need to use it? But that's the thing that upsets me the most. And I'm going to leave it at that because I'm on my own with the kids and one of them is bound to burst through the bedroom door at any given point. So I will leave that with you. I'll upload this to the YouTube channel so everyone knows who's playing who and what the score is with quarter 3. Alright guys, thanks for watching and I will see you all in the next video. Bye for now.